Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate 101 show. My name is Tracey Brock, and today we are happy to invite Vernica Delancy to our show. She is a realtor of over 15 years, working out of Turks and Caicos, specializing in all the islands. So we'd like to welcome you, Vernica.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be able to sit with you to talk about real estate in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the islands and the opportunities that are out there. Is there any restriction on foreign ownership in the Turks and Caicos?
Well, right now in the Turks and Caicos Islands, there is no restriction on foreign ownership, which is a very good thing, and which is one of the reasons that attract foreign investors to come into the island.
Okay, so what is the current state of the real estate market in Turks and Caicos?
I feel that the real estate market in Turks and Caicos is very vibrant. I've started real estate, like you said, over 15 years. And during that time, the market has just been taking off and never one time really has slowed down. So overall, I believe that the market is good and we have a high demand product, and anyone who is looking to purchase, they will be able to see that from over the years, property values has only been increasing for lots of persons who are looking to invest.
Okay, that's great. And just out of curiosity, how far is it a flight from Toronto to Turks and Caicos? Do you happen to know?
I think the last time I traveled, it was about 3 hours in all.
Okay.
From Toronto to Turks and Caicos, yeah.
Oh, that's easy then. That's good. What makes Turks and Caicos unique and attracts buyers to the island to purchase?
Right. Well, I mean, that's a very good question. Like we've said before, no restriction on foreign ownership. That's one of the major things that attract buyers to the Turks and Caicos Islands and makes it a unique destination to invest in. Other factors will include, you've asked about how long it takes to get from Canada. Other factors will include the direct flights. We have a lot of direct flights that come from various locations, including Canada, a lot of places in the US, some of the major hubs like Miami, Chicago, New York, right? As well as direct flights to the UK, from the UK. This is so significant, knowing that persons can just jump on a flight and in a short period of time, you are already in the Turks and Caicos Islands. In addition to that, we do not have property taxes. Of course, everyone is looking for that opportunity. We do not have property taxes. We don't have income taxes nor capital gain taxes. So that's really good for persons who want to buy vacant land, especially, and just want to sit on it as an investment. So year after year, you're not paying anything on that. You're just waiting for it to increase in value. And of course, without saying, we have beautiful beaches. We have friendly people. We have 8 inhabited islands to choose from where you can go island hopping. And also we have a US currency. Some people like the fact that we have US currency. They don't have to worry about money exchange when they come to the island. So these are just some of the things in a nutshell, including a vibrant investment market that they can tap into that I think is unique to us and attract people to the Turks and Caicos to invest.
That does sound a lot of great advantages and the great perks for wanting to purchase there. So how do you get mortgage financing if you're a non-resident in Turks and Caicos? Or is it available?
Well, it is actually available. And the good thing is we have commercial banks that will lend to non-residents, as well as we have mortgage companies that is open its door to non-residents. So if you are interested in making a purchase, you have both options. Of course, there are differences in each of these options made, including like interest rates or timeline to get it completed, but it is available to non-residents in the Turks and Caicos.
It's good to know. What would you say the process is from purchasing from start to beginning?
Well, starting to begin, like any place, I would say one of the first things you want to do is make sure that you connect yourself with a real estate agent, because they're going to help you to get through this process as smooth as possible. So the process for purchasing, of course, you need to identify the property in which you are interested in. And in the Turks and Caicos Islands, we have vacant lots, single family residential homes, as well as condominium developments that you can choose from. So once you have selected the property type of your choice and your realtor has allowed you to Once you've selected one of those property types and you found the ideal property you're looking for, the next step is your realtor is going to help you to write out that offer form, okay? After writing out that offer form and your offer is accepted, then your property is going to go to the next stage where you're going to hire an attorney to help you with the closing process. Over in the Turks and Caicos, realtors are not allowed to help with the final sales and purchase contracts. So this is where the attorney comes in, and we will definitely recommend someone if you do not have someone in mind. And that attorney is going to do all your due diligence and take you to the closing of the property. Okay, so property closing date can be about 30 days, which is standard. And of course, it depends on the complexity of the transaction. Once that is closed and done, then you're ready to go.
Okay, perfect. Now, do you have to be in the Turks and Caicos to sign the papers with the lawyers, or can it be done virtually?
It can be done virtually. That's one of the good things about it. And just to clarify, practically everything can be done overseas. You don't have to be on island. The initial purchase and sales agreement, that can be done by electronic signatures. But when it comes to the final transfer document, it has to be the original signatures, but you have the option of just courier sending that information back via courier, via FedEx or DHL. So you can do everything remotely from the comfort of your home in another country and close on your transaction.
Wonderful. And what are the closing costs associated with purchasing a home in Turks and Caicos?
Well, from a purchaser standpoint, if you're purchasing a home, the basic purchasing cost you're going to be thinking about is the first thing is stamp duty. This is a one-time duty that's payable, and it's on a scale, depends on the purchase price and also depending on the island. So your stamp duty, your attorney fee just to do your closing documents, and there is a one-time $25 transfer fee that you pay to the Turks and Caicos Islands County.
Perfect. And right now, what would you say is the hot island to be purchasing in, the next up and coming place where development's really starting to just kick off?
Very good question, because recently a lot of people have been asking that because Providence Island has become so saturated and the prices are really up there. Therefore, I think the next up and coming island in the Turks and Caicos chain from these 8 inhabited islands, I would not just choose one, but probably 2. I would say South Caicos as well as North Caicos. South Caicos because the government has just announced exciting news for us where there's going to be a direct American airline flight coming into South Caicos for the first time. And because of this international traffic, I feel like this is going to be at a big advantage for the people of South Caicos, and where people are going to be able to invest because of these direct flights. And then North Caicos, I would say, because North Caicos is one of those islands, we always call it the green island, because it's more green and it's where a lot more of the farming and agriculture work happens. It's more laid back. But I feel like it's the next up and coming because right now these are where more affordable prices are compared to Providence Islands. And you can see where businesses are now turning their attention to going into these islands. And on top of that, we have bigger project developments that have begun to invest in North Caicos, like the Sandy Point Resort. And also the government has signed an MOU with a developer to get a international airport going in the island. So once this is available and you can bring those commercial flights, then I think this too will be a big advantage to the island of North Caicos. And therefore, that's why I said South Caicos and North Caicos is the next 2 spots you want to be looking at when you're thinking about investment on the islands.
Does the government itself, you mentioned the government, does the government itself have any incentives for non-residents to come in to purchase or develop within the islands?
Well, right now there are some incentives. Actually, the government has just released a new housing program scheme. And one of the initiatives that they have put forward to developers is actually if you are building in excess of 5 units or more, they are giving certain concessions, duty concessions for bringing in materials and for assisting with the project to help you. And I feel like that's a big advantage for developers who are coming in that they can take advantage of.
Okay, so considering in Turks and Caicos, there's lots of opportunities, land, condos, homes, you mentioned all 3 of them. Why would someone buy land over perhaps maybe the other 2 or vice versa?
Well, I believe, first of all, that your investment of choice is completely up to you, but sometimes people start thinking about which is the best option. And I think that some persons would perhaps go more towards land just because of a few reasons. Number one, I think it's an easier price point to be able to get into the market, especially the market that we have in Turks and Caicos where we are so high end. I think it's easier to get in with vacant land possible that's more affordable. Also, by purchasing land, you can be able to create the masterpiece that you're looking to versus using someone else's floor plan and still having to make amendments and changes to that. So I think those are two of the biggest benefits. And also the last one is, of course, like we always said, you're not making any more land. And just having that land and not having to pay any annual taxes or anything on it. Lots of people do that, just buy the vacant lot and just keep and hold it for a period of time. And they have been just reselling it over a period of time to make a return on their investment.
And they don't really do anything with it then.
They don't do anything with it. There you have others also who will be able to, if they buy a larger portion of land, some of them have the opportunity to subdivide it. Some of them sell off one portion and keep the remainder. Some of them just decide to keep it all one time and just sit on it until they're ready to resell at a later date.
Okay, so what would you say? I guess we need to break it down into the different categories, but what would you say the average cost would be to purchase land in the Turks and Caicos?
Well, on average to purchase land, well, let me put it this way. Just looking at the sales for this part of the year, so we are already 6 months in. The average sale price of land is about $660,000. Now that's $660,000. That doesn't mean that there aren't land in a lesser price point because it all depends on which island you are looking at. Like we said before, the island of Providenciales is more saturated and the prices are much higher. But if you decide to go on those islands you spoke about, like North Caicos or South Caicos, you will be able to find more affordable land. But overall, for the year, the average cost per vacant lot is around $660,000 for the year, all islands included.
Okay. And then what about for a home or a condo?
So homes we've been looking at and I'm just going based on from January to this point.
Sure.
We've already sold average sales price of a home was like 3.8 million and a condo is 1.3 million. Again, it all depends on the island and it all depends on the period of time in which you're looking for. But that gives you an idea to tell you that most of the properties that we are selling in the Turks and Caicos Islands are more on the high end. And there is very little inventory for properties that are below $1 million. They are very difficult to come across.
Okay, great. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you to get more information or to hire you as a realtor, how do they do that?
Well, definitely. I'm on social media, so you can find me on my Facebook page, which is Real Estate with Vernica Delancy. You can always find me also on my YouTube channel, which is Vernica Delancy, and I'm also on Instagram, vernica.delancy. And for any of you who just want to go through email, it's v.delancy@kw.tc.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Real Estate 101 show. We really appreciate your time and want to thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to it. And I hope that this is very informative for persons who are looking to find a location that's not within Canada or the US and want to come to an island to invest. The Turks and Caicos Islands is a really good location that you should consider because of all the perks that I've mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be wonderful to have a home down there, for sure. So thank you everyone for listening. We hope that you'll follow us on all socials and we look forward to speaking with you again. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.